Underestimating the Sigma male is one of the worst mistakes you can make. The fact that they are not a traditional alpha male doesn't really imply that they are not deadly. Sigma men are a particular type of individual that is silent yet dangerous. They are almost always underestimated, and that's a mistake you cannot afford to make, not because they are physically powerful, but simply because they are tremendously smart and aggressive. While they are composed and calm on the outside, they are constantly thinking 10 steps ahead, which makes them a highly dangerous opponent and somebody you must always be careful of. Sigma males are the silent ones who observe from a distance. They gather all available information, constantly thinking and preparing for action. The very last thing you would like to do is give Sigma a reason to challenge you. This doesn't suggest that Sigmas are dreadful guys by nature. In fact, they are indeed gentle and understanding, but you must never attempt to step on his toe, otherwise you might be destroyed. There is absolutely nothing more dangerous than a Sigma man with a vengeance. Here are 8 main reasons why Sigma men are the most dangerous breed. Number 1. There is more to them than meets the eye. The first time you meet a Sigma, you might not even think much about him. He looks like a normal man. However, this is precisely what they would like you to think. They would really like to blend in and avoid being noticed. But never make a mistake. There are a lot of things going on behind that peaceful appearance. They understand more of it than they let on, which makes them extremely dangerous. To play with the Sigma, you must always be prepared for the unexpected. Sigma men are generally quiet and introverted, but that is because they are constantly watching and gathering information. They are usually analyzing and planning, which makes them extremely difficult to understand. You cannot know what a Sigma is planning, and this is certainly not something you want to underestimate because what you observe on the outside is not exactly what you find in a Sigma male, particularly when it comes to intelligence and commitment. They are much more complicated than they look, and this is the kind of person you want on your side but would never wish to offend. Number 2. They will not tolerate being crossed. If you cross a Sigma male, you will quickly realize it was a terrible mistake. They don't take being crossed lightly, especially if it's a sensitive issue. Of course, when anyone does anything to him accidentally, Sigma understands it right away and does not really take it personally, but if you offend him intentionally, he will never let it go. Specifically, if you touched him wherever you shouldn't, you might assume you could get away with it, but he will conspire against you. It may not happen today or tomorrow, but he will guarantee that you will regret crossing him. As vengeful as the Sigma guy looks, he is not truly a spiteful man. He just doesn't like it when people bother him for their own benefit. He's the type who would rather stay out of trouble and stay out of other people's business. But if you take it to his storefront, he will also not hesitate to show you who is the master. It's like a motivational tool to him, and he will never back down till he comes out victorious. He will put you in your place, so you realize that such a thing is not done to anybody, whether it's at work, in his personal life, or even online. The Sigma will also not allow you to get away with it. You may have even assumed that you would bring him down, but you will soon discover that you were extremely mistaken. Number 3. They are experts at reading people and understand how to manipulate a situation. Whenever you are trying to deal with a Sigma male, you are not trying to deal with your average guy. They are quite skilled at reading people and comprehending their motivation. This renders them highly dangerous since they can simply manipulate a situation to their benefit. They understand how to push all the correct buttons and always manage to get the outcome they want in the end. This ability also becomes helpful when attempting to obtain information from someone. They are quite effective at interrogation and can frequently convince people to confess anything. They never plan that there was no sense in attempting to conceal or hide anything from them since they would read straight through you. If you make false claims to a Sigma, he'll pretend that he believes you simply to find out what you'll do next. He behaves extremely passively, making you believe you're in charge, but he's the one holding all the strings, and he intends to see just how far you'll go. When lied to, the alpha male acts aggressively, whereas the Sigma male uses reverse psychology. He is always in charge, even when it appears that he is not. He understands how to influence a situation far more quietly than anybody else. Number 4. They forgive you but never forget. Sigma males have a fantastic memory, and they will never forget something. This is both a benefit and a burden. If you have offended them in the past, they will never forget it. However, if you have been kind to them, they will never forget that once you have earned their trust, they will be loyal to you indefinitely. They may not even show it, but they are generally extremely sentimental people. This is why so many Sigmas have a difficult time forgetting about the past. They might pardon you, but they will never forget everything you did if you commit another inappropriate move, regardless of how small its impact on the game. They will immediately remind you of all your prior mistakes and eliminate you from their lives. This is why being cautious of the Sigma male is so important. They may appear to be unconcerned, but they actually have a lot of concerns. They simply keep them hidden quite well. Perhaps you believe you succeeded in tricking him, but he truly knows everything. He's only waiting for the proper opportunity to show you that he actually knows absolutely what you have been up to. Number 5. They are remarkably resilient and determined. Sigma males are among the most resilient and determined individuals you will ever encounter. They cannot give up, regardless of how difficult things become. They always discover a way to face any difficulty in their way, simply because they have always had an exceptional will to succeed. They usually set their expectations high and try to reach their goals regardless of how many times they fail. They usually find a way to get themselves back up and try again. They are genuine warriors that never give up on their ambitions. Therefore, if you decide to mess with a Sigma male, consider that you're facing a long battle. He must never give up until he wins. They are also task-oriented in order to obtain what they desire. If they set their sights on anything, they would stop at nothing to achieve it. This makes him a highly dangerous competitor, both in business and in personal relationships. If you cross him, he must not rest till he brings you down, but if you are on his side, he will be a great partner who will stop at nothing to assist you in achieving your objectives. Yes, certainly everybody is determined and resilient, but the Sigma pushes it to a completely different level. They are in a category of their own when it comes to resilience, which is why you must always be cautious with the Sigma. You cannot understand what he is capable of. Number 6. They never reveal their true intentions. The Sigma male is a master of disguise. When he feels betrayed, he can never disclose his exact intentions, making it very difficult to determine what he's actually thinking. He is usually smart and understands how to play his cards successfully. This renders him a much more difficult person since you never anticipate what he's going to undertake next. He would always rather keep a person thinking and off balance. He is usually calm and composed on the surface, yet there are a lot of things going on behind that blank expression. While the alpha male is much more upfront when he intends to mess with somebody, the Sigma male is much more covered. Number 7. They are silent observers. Sigma males are frequently the silent people in the room, but that doesn't imply they aren't paying close attention. They are gathering almost everything around them and evaluating it. They are continually watching and learning. This is how they acquire so much understanding of the world around them. They may not even say much, but they are constantly aware of what is happening. They comprehend more than you imagine they do, so if you happen to cross a Sigma, be ready for the punishment. You ought to take into consideration what they may know information about you before you make a move. Unlike other people, Sigma males are constantly thinking and planning. Their minds are constantly working, attempting to find the best way to achieve their goals. This makes them a challenging opponent since they are constantly thinking one step ahead. If you are ever involved in a competition with a Sigma male, you will definitely find yourself at serious risk. You can sometimes be certain that he has already devised a strategy to defeat you. They are continually attempting to find methods to get an advantage over their opponents. Number 8. They anticipate everything extremely well. Have you ever played chess with a Sigma? If so, you understand that they are constantly thinking 10 steps ahead. They are continuously calculating and planning for every single situation. This makes them very difficult to be around since they have already planned out everything you might probably do. He understands how to predict your movement, and constantly seems to be several steps ahead. He is constantly prepared for anything that may happen, making him an incredibly dangerous opponent. You do not want to cross a Sigma since they will always discover a way to emerge as the winner. It appears like they constantly have something up their sleeves, which many individuals don't like. Rather than messing with them, it's preferable to just remain on their good side. Well, that is all for the video. If you find it helpful, consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends.